Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Shreya, working as probationary officer in SBI. So as you have already seen the title, I am going to discuss about the SBI PO mains examination strategy. So as I have posted today only my picture in the exam center of SBI PO prelims. So it was quite nostalgic mode for me because just 2 years before I appeared in that exam as an aspirant, and now I'm just supervising or as an invigilator in that particular exam. So it was a memorable moment for me. So maybe the next could be you guys. So in this video we'll be discussing about what should be your approach for the SBI PO mains examination. I mean, whatever time you guys are left with, that 1 month or 20-25 days, as it is the time gap between SBI PO pre and mains. So we'll be discussing about that only in this video. So one thing I'll say, that as I saw the paper of all the shifts, I can say that the paper was of easy to moderate level. I can say the English was good, and the maths and reasoning were also good. So I'm not going to predict any kind of a cutoff or something, because that is the work of those analysts or other people. That's not my work. So but yeah, I mean, we'll suppose that obviously whosoever has given the examination, you should not get indulged into what could be the cutoff or just watching out the analysis videos. That should not be your approach. First thing I'll mention, that you see one or two videos just to have an idea that okay, the cutoff can lie within this range of 55 to 60 maybe, that I mean to say. But you should not get indulged into that. Just leave the result. I mean, if it is if you're selected, then obviously you have to give mains, and even in case not, then also you should keep on preparing for your mains examination right from day one, instead of getting busy into the predicting about whether you'll be selected in the pre or not. Okay, because the time that you are left with, it is very precious. You have few days left for your mains examination. And yes, obviously pre is qualifying, but the mains is the paper that is going to determine whether you will be in the final list or not. So don't waste your crucial time. That is the first thing that I'll mention. Okay, so moving ahead, I'll say that I'll since the mains examination, the level is high, as you guys already know, if any one of you have given the exam before, that from prelims they just upscale the level to a good standard, that the questions are of moderate to difficult level in all sections. So your preparation should also be according to that only. So I'll be dividing this video into two parts. I mean, I'll be discussing two sections together and then other two sections. Okay, that would be the way. So you guys are already aware with the pattern of the examination, that is there are four sections: GA, maths, reasoning and English. There is a objective descriptive paper as well. So I'll be making a video for descriptive separately. So first of all, the thing that I'll say, that the level of the mains examination, as you guys already know, it is high. But if I go section wise, then the first section that I'll be discussing is the mathematics or the DI section. So as in my examination, the mains that I gave, and then in 2020 I invigilated in that exam also. So I know the difficulty level in the mains examination, that was quite high. But still, the time that you guys are left with, what you should do, that I'll be discussing with you guys. So there is what two parts. Okay, there is data interpretation is there, and in the other section there are the miscellaneous questions in the mathematics section, few arithmetic, permutation, combination, probability. The DI section, what I'll say is that take a mock test. I mean, maybe you guys are already giving, but even if you have not started giving the mains mock, then start doing that. Solve as many type of questions as you can. You can choose of any of your type. Adda 247 test book, grade up, as I have already been mentioning. There is no limitation that what should you choose. You can give any mock test of your preference, and whatever you can afford. Okay, so that you should do. Solve all types of the questions in DI, the graphs, pie chart, tabular DI, caselet DI of mains level, that I am saying, that you should try to solve that. Even I mean, see, maybe it could be a case that on seeing the questions of mains, maybe you guys could not score as per your choice, but don't get demoralized with that. Just try to revise it as much as possible. This is about the DI. Then the next section is arithmetic. Obviously you should have a good command in arithmetic, because the topics related to, suppose if it is percentage, then maybe there could be a question of percentage in the DI section as well, the ratios as well. So you should, revise as much as possible. You should be accustomed with the questions that are in the arithmetic section. Then permutation combination could be there, the questions could be there about probability as well. These all sections are not asked in the prelims examination, but yes, they can come in the mains. So you should go through these topics also, because they can also help you score a good marks. Then there are questions of quantity comparison, quantity 1, quantity 2, data sufficiency. These type of questions are also there, so you should practice these as much as possible. Think I've covered almost all the topics. Data interpretation of all types, then the quantity comparison questions can be there, data sufficiency can be there, questions related to arithmetic can be there, and then your permutation combination probability. These all topics could be there in the mains examination. So for that you should give the mock test. If you fail to clear your concept, you can watch any YouTube video, or you can Google it as well. But at least solve, give a time at least 2 to 3 hours, at least 3 hours to your mathematics section. I mean, because this section is going to be quite tough, as I saw in my examination, then in the 2020 as well. So you'll have to put on good efforts. And yes, you guys already know that the weightage of the mathematics section is good. I mean, for 35 questions you'll get 60 marks. So you should try as much as possible in the time that you guys are left with. Now moving ahead to the next section, that is the reasoning section. So for reasoning section, I'll say that it is divided into two parts. I mean, two major parts, I'll say. First is your puzzle, and the second part is your logical reasoning section. Obviously there is a third part also in which the miscellaneous questions are there. I'm talking about the mains pattern. For the previous trend, I can say there is 50% weightage to the puzzles, then 30% to the logical reasoning, and the rest 20% to the miscellaneous questions like coding, decoding, then blood relations, log, machine input output, these kind of things. So for reasoning section, what I'll say, that you should give all sorts of puzzle. I mean, you should solve all the types of puzzle of mains level. That is also you have to do with the mocks only. That is the only way, I mean, to secure good marks, you should practice as many mocks as possible. So yeah, give all sorts of puzzle, and then do not ignore the logical reasoning section, as I have seen that many people find it difficult to solve the logical reasoning section. It is not the reason that it is very tough, but it is because that you guys don't give it a proper time. That's the reason. And trust me guys, without the logical reasoning section, it is going to be very difficult for you guys to score good in reasoning section, because puzzle is going to be on a very high level. So you should have a balance in between these two, that you should be good in puzzles and you should be good at logical reasoning as well. Then only you can find a balance, and you can gain good marks in the mains. Because same as the mathematics section, your reasoning section has the weightage. I mean, I think for 45 questions you will get 60 marks or something for 45 questions. Yeah, although you'll get ample amount of time, but still the standard of question is that much high that that time is also going to be short for you guys. So that thing I'll say, that you should practice as much as possible all sorts of puzzle for the mains level in the mock test. Now the logical reasoning section, that I have already told, that do not ignore this section. It is very important, and there are chances that you will commit mistake in this section, because maybe you will have a different point of view, and the examiner, I mean the question setter, might have different point of view. So to have a better understanding of this, you should know how to solve these kind of questions, like statement assumption, statement interference, statement conclusions, these kind of questions are there, and you should practice them because they can help you get good marks. I'll talk about my own examination. So logical reasoning section, honestly I'm telling you guys, that helped me gain good marks in the reasoning section, because puzzles I could solve hardly one puzzle in the reasoning section, one or two, I guess two puzzles I could solve, and few questions of logical reasoning section. That was the level. So you should not ignore this section. You should solve as many questions from these two this section as well. And then if I talk about machine input output, syllogism, and the Chinese coding decoding, or the new pattern coding decoding, these all questions can be there. So everything would come up under a single mock test. So you should have a habit of giving mock tests, at least two on a daily basis. You should individually solve questions from reasoning section also, and same for the math section. I mean, if any particular topic you are feeling difficulty, then you should try to solve it individually as well, because these are the two sections, the DI and the reasoning section, where you will have to do a lot of paperwork and mental work as well in the examination. But yes, they are going to be the high scorers. I mean, the weightage is quite high. The 120 marks is there for these two sections, so you should understand the importance. I'll say what your approach should be, that you should give as many mocks. You should solve section wise questions. I've already discussed the syllabus of these two topics, what all things are covered under these topics in the mains examination. So you should follow it accordingly. As I'm saying, have a habit in the time that you're left with, whether it is 1 month or any 20-25 days. So you should give at least two mocks daily, at least two mocks, because in till the examination day you should have given at least 30-40 mocks. See, every year SBI does experiments, that is you guys already know. So maybe there could be some questions that could be of a new type, or you might not have seen it, but yes, that is going to be new for every candidate, not just for you. So don't let your morale down. You just work on your accuracy, work on your concepts, and give as much as time as you can to these two sections. At least in a day you should give 6 hours to this section, 3 hours for these two sections. I mean, see guys, you have to put an effort for just a month or so. So you should try as much as possible for you guys. I mean, if you have given your prelims examination well, or if you feel like that you would get selected, then just don't become lazy. Follow what I'm saying, because this was the approach that I myself have followed for my own examination, giving as many mocks as possible. I just segregated the syllabus in the parts that, as I already told you guys, in the maths there is DI, then your quantity comparison questions are there, arithmetic section is there in the, and then for the reasoning, puzzle, logical reasoning, and miscellaneous questions are there. I worked up on every section what I felt as important. I didn't neglected any individual section, because yes, in the mains you can't say that you are very totally confident in puzzles, or you are totally confident in data interpretation. You cannot ignore any single section or the sub topic. So you should work on every section. You should have a knowledge about every section. So within the time you guys are left with, focus on doing that. Give as many mocks as possible. I discussed about the mathematics and the reasoning section. So now I'm moving ahead to the two sections that are left, that is the GA and the English section. So first I'll take up with the English section. So this section, as I have been mentioning in many of my videos, is the most neglected section among all. But trust me guys, this could be a section that can help you sail through the sea of mains examination, because it helped me do so. So if I talk about the difference between the prelims and mains level, so there is not much change in syllabus. RC is there, closed test is there, error detection, fill in the blanks, para jumbles, these all topics are there. So they are same. I mean, in the pre also these questions are there, and in mains also these are there. But the only thing that is different is the difficulty level. In mains they will check more of your understanding skill or your comprehension skill. That is going to be the only difference. Although there is not much paperwork involved in English as compared to the maths or reasoning section, you don't have to do paper pen work, but there are chances of committing mistakes in English section the most. I mean, you'll feel you have solved 30 questions, but when you see the marks, it is half. Why? Because maybe it is half or not as per your expectation. The only thing that is causing it is your accuracy, and this thing is happening only because you have not done much practice for this particular section. So try to solve as many questions in English section. Try to solve the passages. RC is very important. I mean, the RCs of mains level, in these there won't be straightforward questions in the mains. You'll have to have a good in-depth understanding about what the question is asking you. So you should read out passages. I'll not say that read newspaper, because that is a habit that you should have from the beginning, but in the time that you guys have between the pre and mains, I'll say that only rely on giving mock tests, or even section wise confusion if you have related to any grammar topic or something, then you can check that out. Otherwise, rely on the mock tests only. Solve as many questions as possible. Someone who is weak in English, or even if you are good at, then also you should try to give sectional text test also for the English section, so you will get good accuracy. Then moving on to the last section, that is the general awareness section. All the topics that are in news, they can come under the general awareness section, whether it is national, international news, then certain things related to the static GK also, although that is not asked in the PO mains examination. I have not seen many questions from the static GK, but it can be there. I mean, one or two questions, so you can ignore this section, but focus on covering all the current affairs news for the past 6 months. As I've already been mentioning, you might have been going through it. I'm assuming that, so you'll have to revise in the time that you guys have. You should revise as many times all the current affairs from the PDFs that you can have, the compilation PDFs from any good online website. Then for the banking awareness, banking and financial awareness, you should know about Reserve Bank of India, various other banks, then the monetary policies, the banking acts, and your capital market, money market. These all topics are there. I mean, you guys might be familiar with these topics, so you should download any banking awareness PDF from a good website, and you should revise it. They are not going to ask you very in-depth questions related to banking, but yes, on a basic level they can expect. So you should cover these all topics for sure, because the weightage is going to be somewhere about 50 to 60% current affairs and 40% banking awareness. Static GK, I don't think it is going to come, so you can ignore, but these two topics you'll have to focus for sure. So in an overview, I'll say that do multiple revisions of the general awareness section, cover the past 6 months current affair for sure in a reverse order. I mean, the latest news you should cover first, then in the subsequent months you should go. And banking awareness also you should revise as much as possible in the time that you guys have. You should give at least 3 hours for general awareness section. I used to do the same thing. I used to revise the current affairs PDFs multiple times. I used to write down the data and figures also, because they ask you questions in numbers as well. So I used to revise it in that way, that my revision, I mean, maybe you guys believe it or not, but when I gave my examination, when I saw the questions in the GS section, then it was like, once I see the question, instantly the option clicked into my mind. That level of preparation I made in the GS section, and that made it possible to crack. I'm comfortable in English, that is for sure, and GS section I practiced a lot, and these two sections helped me get through the mains examination, because trust me guys, the level of questions in maths and reasoning were very high. Although I had practiced a lot, but still it was difficult, and this is going to be the same case this year also. So if you want to get selected in the mains examination, you should focus on these two sections for sure, because without much of paper pen work, they can help you get good marks once you practice it. As much as time as you give to the maths and reasoning section, doing and solving so many questions, similar amount of effort and time you should give to these two sections as well, because once you are in a balanced mode for all the subjects, then only you can ensure your success in mains. So, talking in a summarized manner, in the last few days, what was my approach, that I'm going to tell you guys, and I wish if it suits you guys, you should also follow the same thing. Get up early in the morning, and after finishing all your works, do some workout as well, because you guys already know I am a gym lover. So to have a good mental health, you should do some physical workout as well, some entertainment as well, and then after, just start giving your first mock, solve a complete mock of mains. If you wish, you can skip, I mean in the practice set, obviously you can save your time by solving a section and then moving to the next section, but you should solve it on a daily basis. Then the time that you guys are left with, you can solve section wise topics if you wish, or give your time to revision of GA and English section. That you should give at least 3 hours for the current affairs and banking awareness revisions, and the rest of time you can practice your questions for English section also. So this should be your approach. 2 mock tests, at least 2, I'm saying 2 mains mock tests, because if you have 30 days or 25 days, you should cover at least 50 mocks for sure, of any site of your choice. You're free to choose that, okay? And same for the current affairs, do as many revisions as possible. Try to write down the numbers or figures. I mean, if there is news related to any data related to bank, or GDP related data, or maybe there could be some mergers or any kind of reports of several organization, then you should know the exact number, because that is the thing that they ask in exam. You should be well enough in facts and figure in terms of the GS section. So revise it, memorize it, and write it down. And the time that you give to the maths and reasoning section, same time and effort you should give to GA and English section as well. So that was all about that I wanted to tell you guys about the mains examination. I hope you guys get success, and if whatever I discussed with you, I wish that it could come beneficial for you guys. So if you guys like the video, then do press the like button and subscribe to my channel, so that you can stay connected with me and you can get all the notification once I post a video. All the very best to you guys. Hope you guys do well in your examination. Best of luck. Take care. Stay blessed. See you in the next video.